Now at 11, the latest on the search turned recovery mission after a St. Helens city official goes missing in the water.
I hate that we even have to do this so quickly, but...
Yeah, it feels wrong. It's painful.
Plus, with a weather impact alert for extreme heat, how you can stay safe while trying to stay cool on the water.
Nobody expects to slip on a rock and go underneath. The cold water takes their breath away. Sometimes they cramp up.
And with rising temperatures and declining budgets, a major food provider is forced to adjust.
What does that mean when the need expands out of what we have capacity for?
Thanks so much for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Recovery efforts continue in St. Helens after a man went underwater in the Columbia River late last night and never resurfaced. According to the city of St. Helens, that man has been identified as longtime city administrator John Walsh. Walsh went underwater around 10:30 p.m. at the St. Helens city docks. A search and rescue effort was immediately launched and lasted until 3:30 a.m. this morning. Search efforts resumed this morning at 11 a.m., but late this afternoon, the search is now being referred to as a recovery mission. The St. Helens City Council held an emergency meeting earlier this afternoon.
So this is a declaration of emergency to appoint an interim city administrator. So we're going to have a discussion on regarding the appointment of an interim city administrator.
Finance Director Gloria Butch was named interim city administrator for the next 2 weeks. According to LinkedIn, Walsh had served as city administrator in St. Helens since 2012. We're also learning about a reported drowning investigation in Lincoln County. First responders were called to a missing swimmer about 2 miles upstream of Moonshine Park in Logsdon. Witnesses reported seeing a swimmer now known as 18-year-old Dallas Davis jumping off rocks and struggling to get out of the river just after 6:30 p.m. yesterday. Davis's body was recovered just after midnight. All right, switching gears and talking about weather here locally. We saw record-breaking heat across the coast, metro, and the valley this afternoon, and the hot weather is going to stay with us starting on Monday. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri has more on our weather impact alert as we get ready to start the work week. Hot one out there, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely right. I will talk about the heat, obviously, as we head into our second day of our weather impact alert. But I want to go back to the water temperatures. Now, we topped out in the almost the mid-90s for your daytime highs earlier today. Water temperature is about 35 degrees colder than that. So it's jarring when your body hits the water with the cold water temperatures. So be aware of that if you're going to be out trying to cool off tomorrow, because we are looking at another hot one tomorrow with temperatures anywhere from 95 to close to 100 degrees. You could easily experience heat exhaustion after just a short amount of time in the heat. So don't exert yourself. Staying hot Monday, record heat likely, very warm nights. We're not going to be cooling off much. Our overnight lows will be right around the upper 60s, and then by tomorrow morning by 7, 8 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures anywhere from 72 to 75 degrees as you head out the door. Heat, low humidity, and the east wind is what we're paying close attention to, because fire danger is going to be heightened over the next couple of days. Heat advisory will be in place throughout really up and down the I-5 corridor. That red color is an extreme heat warning that will be in place until Tuesday night. And that the white color you see there is a fire weather watch throughout parts of the Columbia River Gorge. And highs today were in the low 90s, and we definitely saw some record-breaking temperatures as well. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. We'll see you later in the show. In Clackamas County, plenty of people were in the water trying to beat the heat today, and first responders there were on high alert. Jay Coulter brings us that story from Gladstone.
Here at Meldrum Bar Park, fire officials putting an emphasis on water safety as people look to beat the heat, especially after a teenager drowned here on Saturday.
A busy weekend, we can have anywhere from 8 to 12 calls, water rescue calls.
The high heat has Clackamas Fire standing guard as many take to the water to cool off.
Started planning on it as soon as I saw it on the news. I was like, I'm going out this weekend.
But unfortunately, being in the water brings a level of danger. On Saturday, a teenage boy fell off a jet ski and drowned.
That was just tragic because no one was able to help him. We had crews here early. He was underwater the whole time. We were never able to rescue him and get him out of the water in time. And the sad thing is, life jackets save lives, and so that would have made a big difference on that call.
Crews were able to recover his body later that day. Clackamas Fire Battalion Chief Curtis Gutman emphasizing that drownings are unexpected, making life jackets crucially important.
So nobody expects to slip on a rock and go underneath. The cold water takes their breath away. Sometimes they cramp up and they just can't, even though they normally swim, all of a sudden they can't swim.
I can swim, but I just don't take chances. And I don't want somebody to have to come out and rescue me either. So I just figure if I do all my stuff, then, if the need arises, at least I've done everything I could do to help whoever's going to rescue me.
Over at High Rocks, AMR River rescuers on patrol as people jump into the water to cool off.
It's not everywhere inside the world will have lifeguards around, so it's also up to people to just be coherent, learn their own abilities, and don't just try to jump in something that you think that you might be capable of. I would say be a little confident if you're going to jump in a little bit of cold body of water.
And when you are out in the heat, experts say drink lots of water, have shade accessible, wear sunblock, and limit your physical activity. Gutman runs us through the signs of heat exhaustion.
Things like being dizzy, turning red, being fatigued, having cramps, all those kinds of signs. If you see that, in yourself, or you see it with one of your friends, like go get them some hydration, get them some shade, and if they're not getting better, call 911.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Clackamas County opened its overnight shelter at noon today to give people needing it a place out of the heat. It's at Father's Heart Street Ministry on 12th Street in Oregon City. It closes at 7 tomorrow morning. People can call 211 for more shelter information.
We have 68 seats in this cafe, and for many people who come in to eat, coming in here is the first time they've been indoors all day.
Well, the need on the streets is rising with the temperatures. Portland's Blanchet House telling us, as the largest meal provider in Oregon, it's struggling to keep up with a recent spike in demand. Blanchet House opened a women's shelter in February in Northwest Portland. It's called Bethany's Room, which hit capacity for the first time Friday night.
For the first time in decades, our staff at dinner had to go out and tell the line, hey, starting here, we have to cut you off. We don't have enough food left or time in the day to serve everyone who would like a meal. And that's unheard of for us.
Blanchet House serves 3 meals a day, 6 days a week at its cafe on Northwest Gleason Street. Staff members say it's no longer enough. The nonprofit is also bracing for more problems as the city and Multnomah County plan to close shelters or reduce capacity this summer. Burn bans go into effect Monday in several spots, including the city of Portland, Washington County, and all state forest land. Campfires, fire pits, agricultural burning, and any open burns, even with permits, are banned until further notice. Grills and smokers are fine. You just need to make sure to get rid of the ashes properly. Now, this comes as nearly half of Oregon counties are now under a drought emergency as state officials warn of dry conditions this summer. 5 people were hospitalized after the boat they were on caught fire. It happened around 3 earlier today near the Kerr Public Dock in downtown Portland on the Willamette. The sheriff's office says 5 people jumped off the boat and were picked up by other boats and taken to shore. The boat that caught fire ultimately sank. The cause of that fire is under investigation. New tonight out of Salem, first responders helped rescue a person who fell about 20 feet down an embankment. It happened just before 9 tonight in the northwest part of town. The person wasn't able to get out by themselves. Firefighters conducted a specialized rope rescue to safely bring that person back to ground level. No word on if they were hurt. And check this out. Among all the boats on the Willamette this weekend, more than 150 people from across the country went for a swim. Today was the inaugural Portland Mile, a sold-out open water swim in the heart of downtown. Race director Chris Sullivan in a statement saying the response exceeded their expectations. The race also served as a fundraiser for the Human Access Project.